Friends, just imagine an asteroid is hurtling towards our Earth. And not just that, this asteroid is also carrying alien cells and chemical substances. Can you imagine the terrifying devastation it could cause? Something just like that happens in our story today. An asteroid on a collision course to destroy our planet. But humans have become quite advanced. And to stop this asteroid, all the world's nations come together and launch numerous rockets all at once. All these rockets collide with the asteroid, destroying it mid-path, and our Earth is saved from annihilation. And we humans think that we've saved the planet. But just moments later, we discover that the asteroid was filled with dangerous chemicals and alien cells. We had destroyed the asteroid, yes, but all of its debris rained down upon the Earth, putting the entire human race in danger. Because the chemicals from the asteroid had a terrible effect on the cold-blooded creatures of our planet. The creatures that were once very small have now become enormous and dangerous, like frogs, sand gobblers, snails, cockroaches, and many other creatures that were once small enough to hold in our palm. Today, these very creatures have wiped out 95% of the Earth's population. Now, only 5% of the population remains on our planet, hiding from these creatures in tunnels, caves, or bunkers. The cockroach that we could once kill with a single stomp of our shoe now requires a shotgun or sometimes even a tank to be taken down. As for the frogs and sand gobblers, even shotguns have no effect on them. This is a thrilling story. At the start of the story, we are introduced to our main hero, Joel, who has been living in this bunker with his companions for many years. They have arranged for all their food, water, and security within this bunker. They even have a cow that they get milk from. All these people are living here happily. We see Joel, who is looking quite disheartened right now because he is missing his girlfriend, Aimee, from whom he was separated 7 years ago. But 7 years ago, Aimee and Joel had a very happy life. Then, during the giant creature attack, the two lovers were separated from each other. As they are talking, a siren suddenly starts blaring in the bunker. After this, Joel's companions grab their weapons and head outside because a giant cockroach has attacked. Joel wants to go outside with his companions, but they treat him like a child and tell him to stay inside because whenever Joel sees these giants, he freezes in fear. Joel gets very upset. Just then, a very large giant cockroach enters, which also kills one of Joel's companions. And as it moves to kill Joel, he immediately grabs a bow and arrow. But here, Joel sees the giant cockroach and freezes again. Before he could be killed, at the right moment, one of Joel's companions hacks the cockroach to pieces, and thus, Joel's life is saved. After this, we are shown a flashback scene where Joel and Aimee are spending moments of love together. Now, in memory of Aimee, Joel talks to her on the radio and finds out that Aimee is also completely safe and is living in a bunker just like him. Suddenly, Joel hears a strange sound from Aimee's side, as if a giant has attacked her bunker. Immediately after, Aimee's connection is lost. Now, poor Joel becomes very worried. He feels that his girlfriend Aimee is in danger. That's why he wants to go to her bunker to help her. So Joel tells his friends that they should all go to Aimee's bunker with him, but his friends flatly refuse, saying that Aimee's bunker is 135 kilometers away from here, and on the way, who knows how many giants could kill them. They couldn't risk their lives just for Aimee, but Joe still truly loves Aimee, so he decides that he will go to Aimee's bunker alone. The other companions also try to stop Joel from going, because Joel already has a problem with freezing up. But without a second thought, Joel sets off to meet Aimee. Further on, in the jungle, Joel comes face to face with a giant frog, and that giant frog attacks Joel. Even though Joel has a bow and arrow, he freezes again, and just as the giant frog is about to kill Joel, a dog appears. It attacks the frog's long tongue, which diverts the frog's attention from its prey. Now, Joel gets a chance to run away from there, but that dog now follows Joel and saves him from that giant frog by taking him into a bus, where Joel spends the night inside the bus with the dog. This brings Joel and the dog closer. This is a very loyal dog who has now become Joel's friend. The next morning, Joel wants to continue his journey from there, but the dog insists on coming with him. Now, Joel reluctantly has to take the dog with him. Thus, after finding a loyal companion, Joel becomes very happy. Joel names the dog Boy and then continues his journey with him. But on the way, while Joel is engrossed in reading a book, he falls into a deep pit.
pit. And when Joel observes the pit carefully, he sees that it is filled with bones. He also hears a strange sound coming from the walls of the pit. Joel gets terrified, but despite trying many times, he couldn't climb out. Not only that, but large insects start coming out of the walls of the pit, which were once very small. And before those insects could finish Joel, a man from above throws a rope for Joel. And with the help of the rope, Joel gets out. That man also throws a grenade into the pit, killing all the insects. The man who saves Joel's life here is named Clyde, and with him is his daughter, Minnow. And this father-daughter duo is also looking for a place where they can live. Here, Clyde tells Joel that he should go up to the mountains with him, because due to the cold, there are no giants there. So the threat of these giants is much less in the mountains.
Clyde shares new information about these giants with Joel. Now, when they are on their way, they encounter another giant, which is a snail giant. But here, instead of killing the giant, Clyde tells Joel to be completely quiet. He also takes off Joel's shirt and looks intently into the snail giant's eyes. The terrifying snail giant doesn't look at them for a second, but surprisingly, it moves on without attacking them. Joel is amazed to see this. How did that giant leave them alive? So then, Clyde tells Joel that not all giants are bad. In fact, there are some good giants who never want to attack anyone, but you can only know this by looking into the giant's eyes to see if it's going to attack or not. On the way, Clyde and Minnow find out that Joel's survival skills are 0, and if he wants to survive in this jungle, he has to learn how to use a bow and arrow. So, stopping at a place, Minnow teaches Joel how to shoot a bow and arrow, and she herself is an expert with a bow and arrow. Here, Joel learns survival skills with Minnow's help, and also finds out that Clyde is not Minnow's real father. In fact, Minnow's entire family was killed by these giant creatures. Also, Clyde's only daughter was also killed by these giants, because of which they had both lost everything. But then, Clyde protected Minnow from these terrifying creatures, and Minnow at this young age is also very brave. That's why Clyde took Minnow with him. There's a very good understanding between them, and they have a father-daughter relationship. Here, Clyde and Minnow ask Joel to stay with them, but Joel somehow has to reach his beloved Aimee, so he says goodbye to Clyde and Minnow and sets off. But before leaving, Clyde had given him a hand grenade, which Joel could only use in times of trouble. Now, Joel and his dog continue their journey, but after going a short distance, a terrifying giant attacks them, and this giant is the biggest and most dangerous one so far, which chases them by tearing through the ground. And this giant is none other than a sand gobbler. Yes, this is the same sand gobbler that we could once crush with our fingers, but now they have turned into very scary and large giants. Seeing such a big giant, Joel and his dog try to hide from it, and they succeed to a great extent. But the next moment, Joel's dog starts barking, and upon hearing it, that scary sand gobbler comes back. The dog crosses the river and reaches the other side, and now we find out that Joel's clothes were sinking in the river, seeing which the loyal dog started barking so that Joel could save his clothes. But now Joel's life is in danger, and he holds the hand grenade given by Clyde in his hand. And just as the giant opens its big mouth to eat him, Joel throws the hand grenade into the giant's mouth. Immediately after, the giant is blown to pieces. Joel crosses the river and goes to his dog. He scolds his dog, saying that because of him, he almost lost his life today. Exhausted, Joel lies down on the ground. And at that very moment, he looks at his hand on which large leeches are stuck. He somehow removes them and then realizes that his whole body is covered with leeches. He takes off his shirt and sees that several large leeches are stuck to his body. These leeches are quite large, and they had already drunk a lot of blood from his body. That's why, after removing the leeches, Joel faints right there. And when Joel wakes up, his love Aimee is in front of him, who has brought him to her bunker. Joel is very happy to see his love Aimee. Aimee tells him that she didn't expect Joel to be able to make it here. Joel learns that Aimee is the leader of the people living in this bunker. Joel also confesses his love for Aimee here, but Aimee tells him that they were separated 7 years ago. In these past years, she has seen many ups and downs. She has also lost many things in these 7 years. She saw her parents die in front of her, and recently, she lost the one she loved very much, meaning her boyfriend. Hearing this,
Poor Joel is completely stunned. For these 7 years, he dreamed of meeting his beloved Aimee every day, but now he finds out that Aimee has a boyfriend. Poor Joel took such a long and risky journey just to meet Aimee, but now he is completely disappointed. He starts missing his people, who, despite being strangers, had kept him like a family member. Aimee tells Joel that they are all going to a safe place, and a guy named Cap is coming here with his ship to take them all. Right at this moment, one of Cap's men also arrives, who gives Joel fruits to eat, and when Joel looks at the fruits, he realizes that they also contain poisonous berries. After this, Joel becomes suspicious of Cap, so he goes to Aimee to tell her this, but by then it's too late because everyone has already eaten those poisonous berries, and they are all lying unconscious. The next morning, when they regain consciousness, they all find themselves tied up, and Cap, who had promised to take them to a safe place, was leaving with all their food and other necessary things on his ship. Here we see an amazing thing. This ship doesn't run on any fuel. Instead, Cap has a giant crab pull his ship. Along with that, Cap also controls the giant crab by giving it electric shocks. After this, Cap shocks the crab and sends it to kill all of them, after which the terrifying crab attacks all these people. Along with that, Cap leaves some of his people here to finish them off. Now, this giant crab attacks Joel, injuring him badly. Meanwhile, Cap's companion Dana gets into a fight with Aimee. Joel somehow manages to flip the crab over, but then Cap gives the crab another electric shock from the ship, which makes the crab straighten up and attack Joel. Meanwhile, Aimee and Dana have a fierce fight, and Aimee snatches the gun from Dana. Seeing all this, Cap also comes here and attacks Aimee, beating her badly, which makes Aimee faint. Joel tells his dog to wake Aimee up, so the dog starts trying to wake Aimee up. Meanwhile, Cap tells his companions to get back on the ship.
But despite this, Cap keeps giving electric shocks to the giant crab, which makes the giant crab grab Joel. And before Joel's life is taken here, Aimee regains consciousness and hands Joel the gun. Now here, as Joel moves to kill the giant crab, he looks into its eyes and understands the giant crab's pain, which is suffering a lot due to being repeatedly electrocuted. Joel feels the pain of the giant crab, so he shoots and breaks the chain that Cap uses to give it electric shocks. After the chain breaks, the giant crab becomes completely calm, and after being freed, there is love in the giant crab's eyes for Joel, so it doesn't hurt any of them and goes straight to attack Cap's ship. And after that, the giant crab kills Cap and all his companions. And this is how Joel saves the lives of Aimee and her people. At the end of the movie, Joel wants to go back to his family, his friends. But by now, Aimee has somehow fallen in love with Joel again. But she can't express her love for Joel. But when Joel is about to leave, she finally confesses her love and tells him that she will come to him soon. And after this, Joel starts his journey back to his bunker. On his way back to the bunker, Joel encounters many giants. But now, Joel is not afraid of anyone. His dog also plays an important role in saving him. Joel and his companion dog reach their bunker, but Joel sees that his bunker is completely destroyed from the outside. But when he goes inside, he finds all his people there, who hug Joel. They are all shocked to hear the stories of Joel's bravery. And at the end, Joel says in a podcast how the remaining people in the world can face these giant creatures. He also tells everyone that not every giant wants to hurt them. In fact, there are some very calm giants. And Joel, who once used to freeze upon seeing giants, now fights with them with great bravery. And all this was possible because of Clyde and that little girl Minnow, who taught him survival skills. At the end of the movie, Joel and all his friends leave the bunker and start their journey up to the mountains, because Clyde had told Joel that due to the cold in the mountains, the threat of these giants is much less. And finally, Joel and all his friends reach the mountains safely. Everyone is very happy, and with this scene, this story comes to an end.